Hello and welcome. This is Diana, and you are watching Holistic Vibes, Life Path 33. And this is going to be for the sign of Gemini. How are you, my dualistic friends? I hope that you have been loving like this energy frequency, right? Like the alignment in like your intentions being super focused, super aware. And it's kind of, they're saying it's like a shift into a form of grace and gratitude. Yeah, we'll see. But it's kind of like this, yeah, there's like this amplification of like you stepping into healing energy, right? The galactic healer. It's kind of like all of your bodies have kind of been aligning into an open heart, open mind. I'm not taking all of those. I want one more, please. Yeah, through whatever you're visualizing, it's kind of like you're actively being able to, mm, clear out all of the gunk in your bodies, right? It's understanding like what is lifetimes of attachments through like the clarity of your own inner voice. The what has been impeding you versus the what has, yeah, it's like this conscious awareness. Light beings, the understanding that like, that you are a soul in a body having a human experience. You're not a body just having an experience, right? It's the connection to the divine mother, the divine father. It's the inner alignment through your frequency. And for me, I'm seeing angelic wings, right? It says, wait, yeah, there's something about you activating your inner guidance and your inner healing. Maybe you were doing acupuncture. Maybe you were understanding your own meridian lines or frequencies, like how to play with frequencies. Yeah, it's the golden stellar internet. It's understanding that we are all connected. And again, whenever this card comes out, they show me Xavier, right? The first time that he puts on he puts on the crown, and he's able to pop up and see all of the mutants across the world, right? And maybe that is a gift that you have, right? And they're also showing me like Sumerian ancestry. So like maybe your lineage goes back to ancient Sumeria, or it's a soul recognition that those are your people. I don't know. This is for, and you could have strong placements in Virgo. Um, and they're kind of getting me like, so, you could be visualizing, yeah, yourself, yeah, through all these delays. It's kind of like whenever wow, can we calm down the energy, please, a little bit? So you could very well, mm, understand all this manipulation that the devil has kind of been impeding within your field to keep you stuck and stagnant, right? Because who does that benefit? If you're not on your divine path and there are delays, and like if you drink a lot, right? If you were a drinker, if you come from a long line of drinkers, those are just sensitive people who have not learned to create boundaries in the energetic realm, right? There are certain things that you can do, mm, that are going to teach you how to understand your own field and how to understand another's field. Um, and if you're interested in that, I am going to start up classes here soon. So you can always send me an email, if that's something that you're interested in. If you want to start coming into your own gifts, um, and you want to learn how to work with them or how to unblock any impediments, that would be something we could do. And again, maybe you are a galactic healer, right? Maybe you kind of like the alienistic energy of like Sirius and Polaris and um Andromeda, and what's the other one? Lyran. Maybe those energies like resonate with your soul's core essence, right? And the whole world, like it could very well feel like you've been on defense mode, or you've been wanting a masculine energy, your masculine energy, or a masculine energy to like protect you, right? And it's kind of like the understanding of the all that is. Like we are all things, right? Yes, there is separation in this world because that's the way the world has been designed. But in actuality, you are a conscious creator in this game called life. And so like through whatever you're visualizing, you kind of can be reevaluating like what it takes to survive in this reality, and it can very well feel like a desert. I don't know why they're showing me the Gobi Desert, but that could be relevant to you. And it could very well be that you feel like you are in an atmospheric energy, so you're kind of looking at the earth above it, right? Like if you've ever done one of Joe Dispenza's meditations, like he takes you all the way outside of the earth's reality filled. And so maybe that's something that you're kind of like looking at, and you're identifying and understanding like what is harmonious, what's a harmonious resolution for the current experience, or where you've been in a state of defense, and understanding like how do I get from a heart-centered consciousness into a it's a recognition of a transmutation energy where you're utilizing your throat chakra to help others in the collective consciousness, if that makes sense to you. You could very well be working with cherubim or cherubs, they said. And those are like the little, or maybe something is coming by the time Valentine's comes, because that's also a possibility, right? There can be a heart activation that is currently happening with a King of Pentacles, they said. And yeah, there could very well be an Ace of Cups that's coming on in your reality. M or W could be significant for you. And there's something in regards to like caveman drawings. Maybe you find yourself like looking at caveman drawings, or attempting to assess. They're also showing me like circuits on a circuit board, like understanding like processing speeds. I don't know. Again, it has to do with like the way you're tapping into the energetic field. And they're also showing me as above, so below, understanding that the counterpart is a mirror, right? So just as the king comes out, so does the queen. There's so many choices and so many paradigms, and there can very well be a bunch of entities and energies that are attempting to keep you from not coming into vibrational frequency. Again, for those of you that know, and you could very well have a strong period of a pillar of service, like you have a nature or a divine frequency about you where you are constantly giving above and beyond. And I always live by that saying, right? The one thing that you cannot get back is your time. So that is your most valuable attribute. So be consciously aware of whom you give your time to, right? And it's the understanding those that have been forsaken, how they abuse what they abuse, how they've operated in a world of numbness in their reality, right? Not holding them in a coddling position, right? There is a level of accountability here, but also having a peaceful understanding. And they're saying, forgive them for they know not what they do. It's kind of like somebody who is an addict, or somebody who has been in a state of impediment for so long. They picked very traumatic understandings of what they chose to experience in this lifetime. Does that make sense? And so Gemini, and again, maybe this could be the dualistic nature of you as you reflect within yourself, right? But there is this keen understanding of the entities and energies that need to be removed from the planet. If you are interested in joining the group and you want to take place on actively doing grid work, that is going to be something I will be doing with my 33s, right? And so okay, let me pull, sorry. They're just saying I need to pull cards. So there is going to be, that's it. Okay. It's and again, some people can call you a dreamer because they can say that like you're always looking on the positive side of all aspects of everything, even though something horrific happens, like you happen to be finding a positive way to deal with this energy, right? Understanding that what you eat and what you feel good about feels good about you. So if you're eating ice cream and you're like, oh, this is shit, this is so bad for me, oh, it's gonna give me bubble guts and da 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 da, like, then guess what? It's gonna do just that for you. What you command it to do, it will do. For those of you that have the ability of transmutation, like your voice literally rewrites the what you're encountering. So what are you speaking into existence? Like, are you speaking harmony? Are you speaking healing? Are you commanding that the vibrational frequencies come to a state of resolution, right? Like you create the ripple in the collective consciousness. You create the alignment. And it may very well look like you two are on opposite sides of the spectrum, right? You and your divine counterpart. However that looks like for you. But there is this acute sensitivity to the way that others are displeased with the what you say, right? Because you could very well be going against the grain or against like a woke agenda or an impediment, right? Because the devil has been attempting to impede its children, right? They want you to no longer like it's kind of like this, it's almost like they want the inner goddess or god in you to play small, to be limited, to not step into a prophetic vision, to instead lean into a manic position, right? Where you almost feel a bit mad, where you feel like your crown is a bit too open. And these impediments or these disillusions are to fall now, right? So if you can ground, go ahead and ground your energy and activate your pillar of conscious light, right? Your creative light, your divine source light, that's gold, that gold column of energy. And ask God to take away anything that has been forsaken or impeded in your highest timeline, right? It's time for these things that have been through abuse, whether it's pornography, whether it's alcoholism, whether it's drugs, whether it's sexual escapades, like however you have been, maybe it's kink, but however your solar plex has been being impeded, maybe it's you almost feeling like you're mad, right? Whatever those impediments are that are keeping you on the defense, know that they're keeping your counterpart also in defense. And so activate your inner voice, activate your highest timeline with your divine guides that you've chosen to incarnate with in this lifetime, and command that the prosperity and the spiritual understanding of the impediments have been visually seen with your eye, right? With the eye that is not an eye, and spread your wings, right? Call the calibration, the recalibration of whatever is holding your body in a state of tenseness, in a state of negativity, be it extra weight, be it extra, armor, whatever that insulated protection is, you put it on the throne. Like you put it on that ark and you say, God, I don't know what these impediments are, but I know they don't belong to me in this reality. And I no longer will pick up this crusade for me. Like I want to release all the energies of attachment, and I claim the divinity and my highest timeline. This is not my reality. This is my reality. And like you're constantly shifting a recalibration into your highest timeline, like through the words that you're speaking to your higher self, to your inner voice, right? And like if there is jealousy, this is my angelic card, and it's rapid soul development, right? Like as you speak it into existence, so it can be. You can think it's a wasp, you can think it's a bee, but in actuality it's a wasp, right? And so like it's not feeding the honey, it's actually creating a nuisance and a dialect, and it stings and it's nasty, right? um And it's like through whatever it is that you've been holding on to, like keep re-honoring like the lessons. Every time the lessons come up, I'm a big component of writing down the voice, what are the thoughts that the entities are attached to. Keep revisiting those energies. What is it that it's replaying in your reality that makes you think that you are less than, that makes you think that you are not a conscious creator, that makes you think that you are not a healer? Like identify, see it, and then transmute that shit. And like through your identifications, the sooner that you're able to see the cycle and you pause and you reflect and go, whoa, whatever just came up, that's the old portion of who I am. It is not who I am. And you may very well see 444. And you honor that journey. You honor the sweetness of the self recalibration, right? And you ask for divine insight and also divine interference so that you can get onto your highest timeline. So this is Jonah and the whale, right? This is Jonah 2:2, and it says Jonah trapped inside the fish. And he said, in my distress, I called to Lord, and he answered me. From the deep realm of the dead, I called for help and you listened to my cry. And so maybe you need to, yet with this new moon energy, you need to hit your knees and you need to ask God for divine intervention and ask for that healing ability to activate the gates. Yeah, the stargazing manifester through the stars. You activate for astral protection. You ask for God to divinely assist you as you are going into the ethers at night. Whatever has been impeding you in your nights, in your reality, in your concessive impediments, right? Whatever's activating your inner beast, you call divine guidance on that. And you ask for God to align you with your highest and best timeline. You ask that anything that you've been fighting against in a state of defensiveness be fully depleted, no longer being allowed to impede you, no longer allowed to keep you stuck stagnant and in a state of vulnerability in a negative way, right? Where the entities are taking attachment to you. For any of you with stuff on your crown, off to the side, you may have an itch on your head. Identify it and say, you do not belong here. It is required for you to go. Archangel Raphael, please assist and take this entity away from me. Right? Anybody with tight shoulders, do the same thing. Anybody with a solar plex impediment that has been keeping the weight on, I suggest that you bless your food and you ask God with joy to allow you to like truly love the food that you are eating, to truly allow the food to nurture you, to allow whatever impediments and blocks within your spiritual understanding to fully be dissipated and released. Allow your wings to activate and spread out, right? Allow all the challenges that have been impeding, look for the higher possibility and the higher timeline. Ask God, how can this serve me? Show me the light. Show me how it is going to be for my highest and best good. And then think. Thank you so much for helping me see this. 1717 may be a variation that you're going to be seeing. 35, 28, 444, 777, and 1010 are going to be numbers that you will be seeing that are going to be updating your paradigm, your frame of reference. It's kind of like your brain is no longer going to think the way you used to think. I'm telling you, hit your knees, write out a prayer, like get with God. And again, the one creator, the all that is the source, the I am presence, right? Jesus is a faction of that. Jesus is a component to the creator. And it's all about like, for those of you that are struggling with like food, or because they're just showing me like multiplying of fish, and it's with blind divine faith, right? And maybe that's something that you're looking at. How do I multiply something? What does it that God needs to show me so that I can multiply? You know, how I help others, how I show up for others. But in order to help others, you have to first show up for yourself, right? And it's not a race. It is a journey. Every single layer of your onion that you peel is going to give you the opportunity to help another overcome what they've gotten. And for those of you that are on the healing path, understand, like, the devil is going to tell you that you are not valuable, that you are not worthy, that you are impeded. Whatever's in the neck area, I see you. You need to come out now. Raphael, please take a deep breath, fully releasing, and release. Good. For those of you that need your soul star activated, let's go ahead and activate that total field of that soul star. And let's pull in violet flame, and then also some of this like burgundy red, that's on the field, because your red is kind of, it's coagulated. It's kind of like, it should be more bright, and it's kind of a murky red. And so you want to transmute that energy and identify like what has been keeping you out of a state of stability. Okay. I'm going to leave that there. If something in this resonated with you, please like, comment, subscribe, and share. It's the only way the channel can grow. If you feel lighter and brighter, by all means, please tell me. Because my goal is that your auric field is filled. It's not ripped. It's not torn, and you are not impeded. It's time for you to get on a higher timeline. And it's time for you to step into your warrior ability of how you are here, really here to help impact the community and impact the collective consciousness. It is time for us to no longer stay silent, and it is time for us to actively step into the divine positions that God has intended for every single 33, right? If this resonated, again, please give it a like, comment, subscribe. You may want to look at your sun, your moon, or your rising, or even your Venus. There could be relevance there. Or North Node, they said. So take it for what it is, for it resonates with, and then pay attention to who you're picking up on the other line, when you're practicing your manifestations, or your healing abilities. Like, what is it outside of you? And is it for your highest and best good, right? Again, they're reiterating, it's time for you to hit your knees and truly connect in with the divine, into the divine principle of what it is that you're meant to be, understanding the waves of healing and how your tempo of frequency also affects those waves, right? Your connectivity, is what they're saying. And you have to know something about this stuff, because they wouldn't just throw it in there. And if it doesn't resonate, see about going and researching about the base understanding, right? Because you are the conscious creator. You are meant for something far greater than what you can be and what you're meant to do so far, Gemini. I hope that this resonated with somebody out there. And if you would like a healing or a reading, all of my information is below. I'm also going to be starting up a couple of community bases where we will be doing meditations. And we will be doing healing sessions, in group collaborative, right? But we're going to be doing it for the planet, so it's going to be more grid work stuff. If that is something that resonates with you, you're welcome to email me, and once I get so many people, I will start doing them on a regular basis. Okay? Until next time, be well. Ciao.